What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a new episode. So today I'm going to be showing you just what my typical workout looks like. So last Monday I did a workout that consisted of squats and bench as well as some accessory workouts. So here's what a powerlifting workout looks like for me. So I like to go into the gym and warm myself up, especially when it's really cold outside. It's really good to get your body nice and warm and ready for the exercise. So I'll typically bike for around 10 to 15 minutes just to get warmed up and ready to go. This is something that someone showed me to really get a glute activation. You put a slingshot on your legs and then you bike for a little bit, which is awesome. Next up, I did some foam rolling. So basically what foam rolling is, it's a self-myofascial release. So it really helps to recover the muscles and help release muscle tightness, which also helps to activate your muscles for the activity. So I'll just typically go, I'll bring it to my glutes in the back, each sides, in the middle, and lateral side, and then I'll just roll my back nice and quickly just to get everything moving nicely. I'll go back into my hamstrings and I'll do each leg. What's important to know for foam rolling is that you don't want to do it too much because you don't want to loosen up your muscles too much. You really want to keep nice tight muscles, but not too tight that you can't actually do your workout. So I'll also take it to my calves and then the middle of my quad, just very quickly, just to get everything feeling nice and ready to go. So that's my little foam rolling. Then I will get a lacrosse ball and I will bring it to my chest. So I get super tight in my upper body and my pecs get super tight. They're not stretched out as much and they really pull on my shoulders. So just bringing it to my chest and going around my pecs and my shoulders and then my back a little bit just really helps loosen things up and get myself ready. Especially powerlifting, it is full body exercises, so it's really good to get the upper body as well as the lower body ready for your lifts. Then I'll get into some glute activation. Do not underestimate glute activation. It is so important for lifting. So these are some banded sidewalks. With my slingshot, you can also use just a little loop resistance band. The slingshot is a lot heavier, so it really helps to activate. I'll go then into some banded front and back walks, and it's just important to make sure you keep the tension here. Then I will start doing some exercises, so I will do some Romanian deadlifts with the dumbbells, and I just want to feel a nice stretch in my hamstrings right here and just get my glutes activated as well, so I'll squeeze them at the top. Then I'll go into goblet squats with the dumbbell again. Just make sure that my squatting's nice and everything feels nice and mobile. So I'll do a few reps of those. I'll put the reps and sets down on the screen. I then go into some banded hip thrusts, and these are awesome for just a lot of glute activation. Just make sure you push from your heels when you do these and not hyperextend your back. These are called some clamshells with the band as well, and they just really help activate your side glutes. Then I'll go into some more banded sidewalks, but I'll put it above my knee just to get a different type of activation in the glutes. And I'll do the same thing with the front to back walks. Next, I did some kneeling swimmer stretch. So I find these really help loosen up my lower back as well as activate my glutes and just make sure things are moving really well. These are some Frankensteins, so make sure you're not reaching too much forward, that your back is crouched up. It's just to get a nice hamstring stretch. And then I was doing some hip rotations to make sure my hips are all nice. These are the interior hip rotations. And then I get into some exterior hip rotations, just to make sure, once again, everything's feeling nice and ready to roll once I start squatting. Then I'll do some leg swings side to side, get a nice little stretch going. These are dynamic stretches. We don't want to do static stretches while we're warming up. Then I'll do some upper body warming up. So I'll do the prone IYTs. I just picked that order because that's just how I've been doing it. It feels good. Just gets my arms warmed up. I'll then go into doing some arm circles just to really, once again, get myself warmed up. Like I mentioned, it's compound lifts, which they recruit most of your body, so it's important to not neglect the upper body. That can actually cause some more pain and tension in the long run. Then I did some banded shoulder dislocations, make sure that my shoulder flexibility and mobility is there, as well as some banded pull aparts. Then I did some external and internal rotations with the band. I try to use a very light band just to really warm up. I want to make sure that you keep your elbow right beside your body. So a good way of doing that is to put a towel or a piece of clothing just under your elbow so that you don't let it drop, as well as some face pulls to get my scapular retraction activated. Then I'll do some tricep pushdowns and some cable pullovers. Once again, get the upper body activated with some light exercises. Once I'm warmed up with those little exercises, I'll start warming up on squats. So I try to treat every rep and every set as if there was like a lot of weight on the bar. So I'll take some deep breaths in through my abdomen, and then I will just make sure I'm giving it my all, even without any weight on the bar. So I'm doing my walkout the same, I'm doing my reps the same, and I'll just typically warm up once I get until my working sets. So my squats are not always the same. I'll usually warm up to exactly the same, but then whatever is prescribed that day from my coach, that is what I will be doing for the entire workout. Sometimes I go up to a working weight and then I'll go back down to a lower weight with more reps and sets. Sometimes I'll just go up to a heavy single or a double and then I'll go back down. It just all depends on what my coach has prescribed. So here was actually one of my working sets. I believe it was 220 for 4 reps. I will write it down, of course. But this is my workouts, so don't take what I'm doing because it won't have the same effect on you. Everyone has a different prescription of what they should be doing. So you can warm up like kind of the same and go by the same percentage scheme, but just don't do exactly what I'm doing. So go by what you can do as well. So this was my squats. This was my 3rd set, I believe. I don't think I filmed my last set. And I don't think I had back downs for this day. So then I got into some bench. Sometimes if my upper body's not as warm, I will make sure to warm it up even more. But usually after squats, since I find that I use my upper body now, I just, it's nice and warm and ready to go. So I'll do again, same thing, treat every rep and set like I had a lot of weight on the bar, and then I'll work up to my working sets. So I will also do a whole like how to squat, how to bench video. So keep your questions until then. And yes, I'm arching my back. That will be explained in my bench video. No, it will not break my back, so you can stop worrying. I'm fine. I've been doing it for a long time, and it's very normal, actually. So this was one of my working sets. So this was actually a really good bench workout. I tried to widen my grip just a little bit to see how I would like it and how it would feel. And it honestly like flew up compared to when my grip was a lot more narrow. I think I'm going to be seeing a lot of bench improvement because of just that little adjustment that I did. So this is side angle because I wanted to make sure my butt stayed on the bench, and it did. So I was pretty pleased with how this bench session went. So after my lifts, I'll usually do some accessory workouts. This one was prescribed a tricep, so that's 3 exercises for the one set. So I started with some banded chin-ups since I can't completely do as many without a band. But this was a light band, so I was pretty happy about that. And I was doing 2-second pauses at the top. So that was one of the exercises. The next one was some Cossack squats. And they're kind of like side squat lunges type thing. Just make sure to breathe and to go how like it feels. Like sometimes I'll have to move my feet placement just because it doesn't feel like it's moving as well. But super good for the adductors. Next, I got into some side planks. I did, I believe, 30 seconds on each side. And then this was repeated 3 to 4 times, I believe. Then into my second accessory workout. So this was just a superset, so 2 exercises, and I did some cable row, single arm, just to get a lot of isolation movements going because I am more dominant on my right side, so it's good to do some isolation exercises if that is your case as well. And this was followed by death, some walking lunges with dumbbells. So I did it there and back for whatever reps and sets that will be on the screen as well. So that was my workout. It was an awesome workout. So my workouts don't always look the same. I sometimes do some deadlifts and bench, or then some squats and deadlifts and things like that. It just depends on the day of the week. But they usually just look like my main lifts, and then usually followed by some accessories and cardio here and there. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one, guys.